The Crime and Policing Bill has now entered a critical new phase. The government has tabled fresh amendments for Lord's report stage, and these changes matter because they will shape what survives into the final version of this law. Some amendments respond to pressure, others quietly embed long-term powers. Let us start with age verification for knives and crossbows. Ministers have retabled provisions that allow regulations to prescribe further steps for verifying age and identity, including the voluntary use of digital identities. This is not framed as mandatory digital identification. It is framed as flexibility and safety. But the mechanism is clear. Parliament approves the framework now. The detail comes later, through regulations. Today, it is offensive weapons. Tomorrow, it could be wider categories. Once the verification infrastructure exists, expansion becomes easier. Next, protest-related changes. The government has retabled an offence concerning protests outside homes. It says the scope has been narrowed following concerns raised in committee, but the core power remains. Scope can be refined. The existence of the offence remains significant. When protest law expands into residential settings, the balance between public order and civil liberty becomes sharper. On unauthorised encampments, the government is reducing the no-return period from 12 months to 3 months, following a High Court ruling that found the previous period incompatible in areas lacking authorised sites. That is a reminder of something important. When enforcement powers are not matched by lawful alternatives, the courts intervene. It is not a policy shift out of generosity. It is a response to legal pressure. There are also changes to delegated powers. Some regulations are being moved to the affirmative procedure. Some guidance powers are being tightened. That shows scrutiny has had an effect. But it also confirms how much of this bill still relies on future regulations, rather than fixed limits in primary legislation. This is what report stage really is. It is the moment when warnings from committee are either absorbed, softened, or resisted. It is the last realistic chance to narrow broad powers before third reading. The public debate often focuses on headline offences. The real shift happens in definitions, regulation-making powers, and procedural details. If this bill becomes law in its current direction, it will not be because no one raised concerns. It will be because Parliament chose which warnings to accept and which to leave in guidance rather than statute.